Hey, what's up, guys? So this is going to be a Podversation, and I just wanted to talk about what everybody is talking about right now, which is the response that Jamal Bryant has for Monique and her husband with regards to the binder of receipts, okay, that Monique brought to the Real Housewives of Potomac's reunion. All right. Well, as you all know, Monique had this binder of receipts, and it's like screenshots of text message conversations and maybe pictures and possibly some other things with regards to Giselle's relationship with Jamal. And the reason that Monique did this, and I'm sure there's other receipts in there, not just about Giselle and her relationship, but Monique is pissed, okay, and had time because there was just a lot of scenes and travel and things that Monique didn't participate in because of the fight she was in with Candace earlier that season. But anyway, we all know this all happened in 2019. This didn't even happen in 2020. It's just being aired now. Well, Jamal came back, and I'm going to put a link to the video that I watched. This was actually the video, Jamal Bryant's live video was on King Jives channel. So I'm going to put a link to his video in the description and in the pinned comments when I get a moment to do that, so you can watch the whole video. I didn't want to wait to do an edited video, so that's why I'm just doing this from my car, guys. But okay, Jamal, just like anybody, when you're being accused of things, has the right to come back and defend himself and speak. So I don't have an issue with him defending himself. That's not an issue for me, but some of the things that was said, it was like, wow. All right. He pretty much accused Monique's husband, Chris Samuels, of having CTE, which is brain trauma from playing football, and accused him of being, I don't want to say he accused him of being abusive, but he did say that he has video of Chris like snapping on a woman in a convenience store, which even if that happened, we don't know if that happened or not. That doesn't mean that you have CTE. So that is a huge accusation to bring to someone's doorstep. And him being a man of God and, being a pastor of a church, that's just, you don't do stuff like that. And when you are a pastor, you're going to get talked about. It may not be right, but they talked about Jesus. And Jesus was without flaw, without faults. And they talked about Jesus, and they accused Jesus, and they crucified him. So I'm not comparing Jamal. I don't want you guys to think I'm comparing Jamal to Jesus Christ. I am not. But what I'm saying is, when you are supposedly called to be in a position of leadership in a church, and you are a pastor of a church, people are going to talk about you, and people may say things about you that may not be true. So that's just something that you have to get used to. But can you imagine if Jesus came back for people that was saying that he was, guilty of things? He never did that. He said, forgive them, Father, talking about God, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. So for Jamal Bryant to be the pastor of a church and supposedly a representation of Jesus, it's not a good representation, because unfortunately people are going to make accusations about you. You can't come and clap back at everybody. And for him to say, don't come for me unless I send you an invitation, it's a snappy little statement, but for him to be a pastor, it's just, you're supposed to be different. You're supposed to be held to a higher regard and a higher standard. So for me, I was like, it for me was looking at somebody who was a part of the reality TV world, and he said that he will never be a part of the Real Housewives of Potomac ever again. The reality shows embody things that he does not like. He feels like it's the worst representation of ourselves. But he was on a scene in Love and Hip Hop, and that show, I believe, is worse than the Real Housewives franchise, just giving my opinion, guys. And so he accused Chris of having CTE. He's the pastor of a church, but he's pretty much letting people know. He said, I'm in Atlanta, but I'm from Baltimore. So to me, that was a low-key threat. And also him saying, I have Monique and Chris's address, but for the sake of grace, I wasn't going to go there. So he was pretty much another veiled threat, saying, I know where you live. And we know what that means. I'll pull up. So for him to be a pastor, it's a bad representation. Again, I don't have an issue with him defending himself as a person, as a human being. But as a pastor of a church, his response was completely unprofessional in terms of being a pastor of a church. I'll just say that. Now, he also stated that Giselle asked him not to say anything, so he's held his peace for as long as he did. But he said he feels that Monique and Chris are coming at Giselle and even Robin because of a story that was linked to Monique's former best friend about her new baby possibly not being Chris's, and them thinking that Giselle has something to do with it, and that this blogger who is no longer here, who's unfortunately passed away from the Black Socialites, I believe that was the name of the blog, is had some information regarding that situation. And that's one of the reasons why Monique and Chris did that live video months ago where they were talking about this story and how they felt like this was something that was connected to her former best friend, possibly Charisse, who used to be on the show, who used to be friends with Monique but is no longer friends with Monique. And then also because Giselle and Robin don't really care for Monique, Monique feels like they had some connections with that and wanted to use it to try to possibly get Monique kicked off of the show because they don't like her. I don't know if all of that stuff is real or is true, but again, I feel like every person has the right to defend themselves. So Monique and Chris, they had the right to come out and defend themselves. Jamal, as a person, I felt like had the right to defend himself, but it is the manner that he used to defend himself that I don't agree with, because he did the little veiled threats. I know where you live. He said, I know your address, but for the sake of grace. So he's trying to make it seem like, because of God, I didn't go there. And then also accusing Chris of having brain injury, which is so wrong. You don't do that. We don't know if that's the case, and we don't know if that's to be the truth. And from what I have seen of Chris, even though I did a video, and I'll try to put a link to that video in the description as well, where I talked about Chris defending his wife and standing by his wife. I like that. I like to see a man, a husband, who is just so devoted to his family, devoted to his wife, and he put himself in a position which I don't feel like is even in his character to do a live video and discuss this situation, because he was disgusted with the accusations that were being said about his wife and about his new baby, and the rumors about her possibly sleeping around. Again, they're rumors. We don't know if those things are true. I just said I agree with him standing up for his wife. Now, the things about him saying, if you were a man, I would, or I wish I was a woman, I could put my hands on you, whatever. He was displaying how angry he was. I don't believe that was a threat to do anything to these women or to do harm to them. So that's where I feel like maybe he shouldn't have said that, because sometimes people say things and they misconstrue what you meant. But Jamal, when I first listened to the video, and you guys can listen to it if you haven't heard it yet, again, I'll have a link to that video in the description. I again agree with him being able to defend himself as a person, but it's just some of the things that were said were just completely uncalled for. And also when he talked about the woman, he said, I'm a single man. Giselle and I are not married. We used to be married, but we've been divorced for many years now. That is the truth. But you are a pastor, and I thought the Bible talks about not having sex before marriage. And although we know a lot of people are doing that, you're supposed to be an example of the Word of God. So from what I heard from this woman, I didn't speak to her personally, I'm just saying a video I heard where she did an interview, they were sleeping together. So he was saying that this woman was looking for clout. I believe she was looking for a little bit more than clout, and he has shown himself to be somebody who gets around because he has several children with different women. So he also, I'm just being honest, on the show, he did not show real interest in Giselle. It was almost like he was doing her a favor by being there the times that he was. So I do believe that he did not want to be a part of the show, and I do believe that Giselle asked him to be a part of it. And maybe they were just dating casually, but I don't believe that it was as tight as Giselle was trying to make it seem, like they're in an exclusive relationship and it could possibly lead back to them getting married again. That might happen in the future, but I don't see it. I just don't. Not even with these sunglasses on or off. I just don't see that. I don't. So I really want to know what you guys think about it in the comment section. Please listen to that video. Listen to his response, his clapback, his binder of receipts. He pretty much said, you can't have receipts without having a cash register. He's so shady, but it's, it is whatever. Let me know your thoughts on his comeback, his response, and also, do you feel that he had the right to respond? But even if he had the right to respond, what do you feel about his actual response to what Monique brought to the table, or to the reunion, shall we say? And guys, I really want to thank you so much for liking the video and subscribing and hitting the notifications bell so you know whenever I do upload a new video. If you've been subscribed to this channel for some time, you may see me going in a different direction, and it's because simply I am starting a new channel. I'll have a link to that in the description box as well, so you can go and subscribe to my new channel. A lot of the videos that I did on my channel when I started this had nothing to do with news and entertainment and reality shows and different things like that. But for me, with the year 2020, it has been a very, very hard year for so many people, and I just want to have some joy and some peace and some things that make me laugh and some things that just give me a boost of, feeling good. And this is the type of stuff, it's entertainment. It's feel good stuff. So I'm just taking this channel in that direction, and I'm just going to keep this channel the Being Beautifully Honest channel, where I'm just sharing my honest opinion about things that are going on in the celebrity world, celebrity entertainment news, and reality shows, and some religious scandals, because I do talk about those things as well. And I appreciate you all being here. And you may ask, well, why am I doing this? It's something that I talk about all the time, so I just figured, why not continue to do it on the channel with you guys, because I do it almost every day when I'm working with clients. We talk about these things, and we're not one-dimensional. We have different layers and different parts to ourselves. It doesn't take away from who I am, which I am an entrepreneur. I will be talking about entrepreneurship and business and inspirational things and beauty and different things like that on my new channel, and I'm just going to keep it all there. So I appreciate you being here, but just in the direction of this channel, if you would like to support me there and get that other content, I'm asking you to go to my description box, click the link for my new channel, and hit that subscribe button and hit the notifications bell for all. So again, thank you for watching this video today, and again, thank you so much for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you again soon.